Well, hello, creatives, community, and kind folks and places, people who live in cold places. Welcome to Tabletop RPG with DBJ. I am, of course, your host, DBJ, and all of you taking part in the show live or otherwise are the co hosts of this channel as we decide to showcase tabletop RPG topics. And this month, we are showcasing a number of role playing games that I've played, I've partaken in, that I own. And this month here in the States, we are in Black History Month. And so I thought we would showcase some excellent RPGs that showcase um, either real life world cultures, have space in the game to showcase various cultures, and are uh, games that are either by design or just by accident, even uh, great places to play games if you want to break away from the uh, traditional tabletop role playing game of Tolkienist fantasy. So yes, it's pretty cold here. It's starting to get a warm up, but our problem with in the states that people that don't live in the United States don't realize that we've got like four corner weather problems. You know, hey Vince, what's going on? J Dub, John Wright, what's going on, guys? Yeah, I almost we almost need another channel just to talk about like the United States versus everyone else. And I don't mean like in a battle. I'm just talking about lifestyle and the size and geography and economics and some of the culture and all that kind of stuff. It's just for those that aren't from the United States, they just don't understand. Like our issue for those of us that live in the middle of the country is that we have four corner weather problems and issues. Um, Cold weather coming on the Pacific coast, coming from the north downwards. We've got warm weather streams coming up the coasts on the east coast, coming from the Caribbean northwards, and then yeah, if it's like I really don't want to battle, yeah, we spent a lot of money on being able to win a lot of fights, man. You really don't want to do that, but that actually in a hard segue that kind of brings up this role-playing game Degenesis, the rebirth edition. Now this is the physical copy, but we're going to go into the website, but I just wanted to um oh yeah, Drew says, I just don't get how you measure temperatures in the US since I am used to Celsius. We are Fahrenheiters. We are a faction of Fahrenheiters, of fists raised in the air with mercury held firmly. I don't know. It's just a difference. Um, but Degenesis, created by Six More Vodka, is a German design company, and they're also tabletop role players, and they do some excellent work. Now, this is a boxed set, and I'm going to attempt to not knock any of. I've got three lights going on over here, so we don't cast too many shadows. Let me get the box out of the way, and there are two books here, Catharsis and Primal Punk. One book, of course, is for like it's like a world primer. It's basically the player's book, and really delves into like what kinds of classes you can pick, characters. Essentially, they're not classes. You pick a clan, and you can pick a like a tribe of sorts. And this game, this is just the inside of the book. It gives you a map. The red being the water, the liquid regions of the world. This takes place in the Mediterranean region, and it is a post-apocalyptic game. So Degenesis, the idea is that an event happened known as the Eschaton, and the camera doesn't quite show this just because of lighting. This isn't orange. This is actually blood red. And if you are someone who is familiar with the game Morkborg, this game is similar to it. They do little simple things like putting a diamond in the middle of a blank page. They use a number of different fonts. They do a splatterpunk type of art. It's really interesting. All the art is excellent. You get this world primer where you have this. It's almost like a story told through the ages. Now, this eschaton, this post-apocalypse happened when spore enshrouded uh, chunks of uh, I don't know, rock or earth, asteroids, meteorites slammed into the earth, destroying most of it and leaving some life left alive around the Mediterranean. And over the courses of years, maybe even hundreds of years, the combination of the survivors trying to build society back, the the mythology of the lost world and what it is today, and the mutations that come about from the spores is what this game is about. And the term Degenesis is almost as if we have society has gone backwards in its yeah. Oh, yeah. Vince is like, holy shit, the art is amazing. It is, yes, every page. So every page is a piece of art. It's unbelievable that how this game. Now let me hold up the side of it. It's pretty thick. Will it give me a good image of the density of the side of the book? It's pretty thick. It wow, the artwork in this book, and this is just me flipping one page at a time, and it goes into the science of it. The mechanics of this game very simple, and I find that I see this in game design that the more complicated the gaming world to explain, the less complicated the mechanisms are. So this game goes into now the Six More Vodka is not a gaming company. Six More Vodka is a design firm. They just happen to also play role playing games. So, as a design firm, they went out and found the best of the best in terms of art, design, writing, layout. It's just incredible. And what I'm flipping through now is the world primer, the player's guide, essentially. And this was called Primal Punk, and that's how they kind of design themselves, think of themselves as a primal punk game. It's like it is a survivalist Mad Max. Fury Road meets every meets a um I don't know, intergalactic spore mutation and things of that nature. We're going to get in the website because the website is absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. Mike says if that game plays half as good as it looks, yeah. Vince mentioned someone had money to spend on this. They sure did. They sure did. There's almost too much to look at. Like you'll see a page where, for example, like this page, there's a watermark in it with maybe a living thing like a spike or a shell, and then up in the corner there's like a gray splatter, maybe as if this book was discovered in a I don't know, a chamber deep in the earth with like mold and mildew around it. And then you'll have regular wording you can read, but then up in the top, you'll have a kind of a poetry or some kind of words spoken through legacy by maybe a blind oracle or something. And it just goes on that where they mix so many different things. But as I talk about this, there's a reason why I wanted to bring up Degenesis in at least this month. And I'm going to show you a small percentage of this game and their website, which is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to let's put the link to the website in the chat and, and then get you guys see here. It's pretty simple. Vince says, well, if it is often interwoven, I mean, rules and world, they should inform each other as well as possible. Rules can tell a lot. Oh, it moved a little bit. There we go. Can tell a lot about the world. And Druden says, I have only played the other edition, not the rebirth version. I really like the setting. The old dice mechanism was not so great, but they changed that in rebirth as far as I know. I don't know the first edition, but it is uh, a D6 dice pool system, and you count you can count successes and failures by how many of the dice that you rolled have successes. So you start counting successes and failures based, and then those successes and failures allow a wide range of like yes anding, no butting. For those in an RPG community where it's not really pass fail, it's like I succeeded enough or greatly and that kind of stuff. So the number of successes, add to damage output. Number of successes allow, let's say you're trying to jump across a ravine and you get one success. Okay, well, maybe you jump across, but you just hang by your fingertips. Whereas maybe you get 4, 5, 6 successes, you jump across, do a tumble roll, and keep on running as if because you're a free running badass, right? Mike says, designing the book itself like it's a relic from a list of time is a great concept. Yeah, and Vince says the cover's so minimalist, they surely don't front load this one, not at all. This version of the book is just it's bare bones white. The side of it just says Degenesis. There's a symbol, Primal Punk. The back of the book is in the beginning, there was no light with a diamond, and then their symbol for six more vodka, SMV. That is it. The other book, Catharsis. Catharsis essentially are the gaming rules, the side of the book, symbol, Catharsis, back of the book, but life always finds a way. And it's funny because it is in the beginning there was no light, and the other book says, but life always finds a way, and then of course six more vodka. Now, as I open up Catharsis, we do have some imagery here. It does it. This game very much has like an anime feel to it. Very dark though. It's really great. Mm-mm. John writes like, no eating of greasy pizza while using that book. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Vince says it really gets interesting with yes, but also and no and also yeah. Because then you can with the dice pool concept, and I think there's a reason why so many people fall into a dice pool mechanism because D6s you can find them anywhere. They're real cheap. So you can roll plenty of bucket of dices as much as you want. And also it allows rolling a cube with only six sides limits the variation, but rolling a number of a dice pool um, is is allows a great variation thereof. Mike says, "How does the D6 pool system differ from Shadowrun?" It sounds very similar. It is. I. It doesn't. The number of dice don't creep up as high because this game is pretty lethal. Um, it yeah, it's pretty lethal. And then they go into mechanics and things of that nature. This is the rules book, and even in the rules book, we get little bits and pieces of like splattering on the page, a little bit of like poetry slash mysticism slash things spoken by elders of tribes and things of that nature. Um, and of course, you know if you are a designer, when you have smudge marks in the corners, maybe some like blueprinting down here, a lot of times what a basic designer will do is just reprint this on each page, so you would see the same smudge mark. But no, they actually go out of their way to coffee ring the book on purpose. They go into character creation here, and it's this is the rules book, so you're not going to get as much artwork, but it goes into a lot of the character creation types. But as I'm flipping through this, there's a reason why I'm not stopping because I have to show you the beauty of this website. It's crazy. Oh, maybe I can here. Let's show some of the artwork here if I can. Um, these are these are some of the I'll say adversaries. Mm-mm. Let's see. Vince think cyberpunk. Oh, I'm not sure. Is not much fair. Zamar says, can confirm DBJ is correct. I prefer D100, but a D6 is more accessible. Yeah, yeah. And ultimately cheaper per die than two D10s or D100s, and rolling a lot of dice is fun. Yeah, there's the psychological aspect of rolling a bucket of dice. When you have to use two hands to roll the D6s, and you get that it's the sound of the dice hitting like a semi hard surface. There's some fun about that as well. Michael says, funny, Watsy puts smudge marks in their printing without artistic value. Yeah, they really go out of their way to really emphasize like uh, the oldness of this book, despite the starkness of the cover. Uh, these I'm just flipping through these as these are like factions in the world, and there's some artwork in it. Stoikov nomads, exaltas. It's just the artwork is just Storskis, corpses. Yeah, these are all excellent, excellent. Vince says, I can't get over how pretty these books are. Mike says, I saw cockroaches and read clockroaches. Ooh, yeah. They didn't. Yeah. Here's another thing that I have to reinforce. This game is free. Uh, you can download the PDF full art for free. This game on their website, you can download this game for free. The Flayers. Oof, oof. And look how many adversaries they have. These aren't player choices. I mean, you could kind of fix them out, but I mean, kind of modify them. But these are adversaries. I love a game that gives the person who runs it, the storyteller, the game master, the dungeon master, the flame tender, whatever. I love it when you're given a lot of choices in terms of adversaries and monsters and things like that, whatever your game is about. Says, and I'm searching. Yeah. Deadman says the Genesis website has a multimedia and awesome shit sections with all sorts of cool additional materials. They also the layout for these books, the fonts, the layout, and a number of the iconography in this game is given for free, so that when you make players of the game can design their own things, and Six More Vodka will host your creations, and then you can make it blend into the game by using their fonts and everything. Yeah, this is just it's crazy. But we're not done yet, because I am going to share their website, and their website is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Um, let's share the. Oh, here we go. And uh, please let me know if you guys are seeing the if you guys are seeing the. Let me change the background a little bit because it's a little bit too starky stark. Let's just do this. There we go. Are you guys seeing? Uh, am I sharing my screen? Does it say Degenesis at the very top? Please just let me know in the chat before I move forward, because I've really got to show you guys this. Let's get the chat back up. There we go. Okay, Vince says just got there. Can confirm. Gorgeous website. All right, so here we are at the beginning of the website, and this is the opening. Oops, this is the opening of the website. And as I use my arrows to come down, welcome to Genesis. It excellently designed. What is the Genesis? Critically acclaimed and free to play tabletop RPG with an international community and cult following. I can attest to that. It merges visionary design, intuitive gameplay, and dense world building, thrusting new players into an inhospitable future at the close of the 26th century. And of course, we have. Wait a minute. After saying it's free, download for free. I don't understand, because it's this is incredible. Burn pollutes. Yeah, there's something called burn. Once inhaled, the spores keep growing long after the drug's effects have worn off. For some, there is no way back. The blossoms of decay infest the throat, and fungus spreads around their mouth. Wherever they walk, they cough white, what is it? Cough white flakes and spread the seed. There's also a reason why I bring this up because about the spores, and that is there's a show called The Last of Us based on a video game which uses spores, and I was like, this it kind of fits in. So we can explore the world. There's upcoming releases. Uh, the one failure for Degenesis, the game company, is that this is their in-house version of Kickstarter. And so as they produce each book, they promote how far they are away from printing and layout and writing and art and that kind of thing. So you can come back to the website over and over again. And if it's something you really wanted to invest in or pre-order, they let you know right up front, hey, guess what? Our next project, the writing's only 30% done, the art is 10%, and blah, blah, blah. And you can see these are almost done. You can explore all the books. There's a beautiful trailer that the everything in the trailer is the embodiment of things in the game. So the trailer wasn't just made and then they just happened to haphazardly put something together. Um, the trailer is made literally for the game. It's crazy. And then you can support this game. But I'm going to go back up. Sorry, here's the publishers: Six More Vodka, The Genesis, creative director, production, um, the contact information and German website. But allow me to go back here because I'm going to focus on something and then I would like to go back. I would like to go back to the world in general. So, why did I pick this game to like represent? Come on, where's my chat? There we go. Vince says they have a German version. Yes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a German version of this game. I believe it was initially designed there, but I mean for German players. But we're going to explore the world, and I'd like to explore the world, go into a lot of the cultures. So let's click explore the world here. Bam. And I want to bring this up because I think when it comes to our modern day versions of when people talk about whatever side of the divide you feel that you're on when it comes to diversity, inclusion, wokeism, blah blah blah, all these things. I think what is not talked about because it's not sexy and doesn't um, sounds kind of like a negative promotion of the thing that you want or don't want is the idea that, especially in our role playing community, as you can see, all these other I'll read out the names, fine, because some people are listening. So here we are with world cultures. We have Borka, the legacy of the ancients. We have Franca, the swarm. We have Pollen, the eternal wanderings. There's the Balkan, which are known as the wildlands. Um, Hybrispania, the killing fields. We have uh, either pronounce Pergar or Pagare, the land of the chosen. I like pronouncing the E's at the end. Sorry about the Mike, because I know his world's called Ember, and I'm like, Embade? Anyway, and then there's Africa. So out of all of those cultures, I'm going to click Africa. And what I love that they did here was something that doesn't sound sexy, but it's kind of cool. And the fact is that they didn't choose to make any group the hero or the villain. They just said, you know what, we're just going to include them in here and make them just as diverse as everybody else, including making them assholes. And I'm like, yes, that's what you do, right? So I didn't put this in here. I'm just reading what they wrote, which I love. They said, Africa, the lion rampart. Although Africa has long since liberated itself and drove the white man into the sea, the old wound is far too deep to be forgotten. Every ship sunk by Mediterranean pirates, every battle in Hybrispania and the Balkan, It all brings up old pain. The chains of the past rattle like dissonant wind chimes, echoing loudly in the ears of the lion. And it talks about the survival of how did Africa survive these kinds of things, and then it goes into cults. Now, these cults of Africa, a number of these cults exist elsewhere in mm, sur- the Mediterranean that has survived, but these are some of the primary cults that have been in Africa, like the Neo-Libyans here, the Scourgers, the and Nubians. Then there's also the Apocalyptics, the Scrappers, the Clanners, and it's just so much. The artwork in this is crazy. Let me click some of these. Let's click the Neo Libyans right here, and I'll get back into the our co-host comments. Look at this artwork. It's just and there's a there's something about the artwork that just brings a life to this world. And mind you, I'm only focusing on this because it's so beautiful. Initiation, read the story. Small child, books, raiders and diplomats, prime negotiators and trophy hunters. We got kings of the Mediterranean and big game hunters. Um, Africa is actually in the history of this world. It is the 26th century. Has survived a lot more. Like the entire northern portion of Africa now is a giant jungle instead of being a desert because of the spores that came from that impacted the earth and came from outer space. The Great Hunter, you read their stories. Heirs of the Libyans. There's some artwork here, and they even tribalize their weaponry and stuff. It's sweet. And then of course we go into some of the cultures and clans and things like that. So it's quite quite amazing. So up here we're going to go from cultures. Let's go to the cults. So you pick a culture, you pick a cult. Let's see, let's move down here a little bit so we can get to. Let me go back into the chat. Mm, 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 mm. Yes, Drudfus says pollen is wordplay. It is Poland, but the German words for spores is pollen. Yes, absolutely. There is a bit of Zamar says, "Pugar a" is how I pronounce it. Yeah, listen, there's a little bit of tongue in cheekism in this game that I love because there is a little because it's so dark. There are, you know what? I'm going to turn this graphic off. It's I got to turn this graphic off so it doesn't disturb. See if can I hide this? There we go. Okay, I got the graphic off. There's a bit of a tongue in cheekism because this world is so dark that it needs some humor in it to alleviate you because when things whenever you read like grim dark role playing games, it feels like there's a hopelessness in it. So the comedy kind of alleviates that. Vince says German creators. Now I remember seeing these books on some cons I went to. Never watched into it. Yeah, Druden says they have interesting African cultures. I dig the Nubians especially. Yep. And Druden goes on to say, talks about Poland and Poland and pollen is a word play on the region. Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love that too. Normally, I prefer reading these books in English, but when the original is German, I'm all for it. Yeah. Zamara says, "Okay, I am downloading the game, but you owe me a new hard drive, or I could just delete my 4-year-old audition files." Wow. Yeah. Deadman is like Posthuman Studios did with the Ultimates faction, a Nazi-esque faction that practices Buddhism. They do some mixing and matching in this that's pretty remarkable that I love that they said, you know what? Like that part that I read out about Africa, they didn't ignore real world history, but they took it and expanded it and twisted it so now the African cultures in the 26th century, which doesn't exist, now are like masters of the Mediterranean. They're like pirates and freebooters. And I was like, that's really cool. You don't normally imagine apocalyptic Africanized peoples being masters of the sea, right? It's not a thing. John Wright says role playing literally means playing a role. If people only played themselves, it kind of misses the point. That's what's great about role playing is imagining what you would do if you were somebody else. Yeah. And even today, role playing is brought into corporate America. It's brought into schools like here. Pretend to be this other person. Now look put yourself in their shoes and see what happens. Yeah, they got giant sand tanks like they have in Star Wars. Holy shit. All right, so now we hit the cults, and I like the little things that they do on their website. You hover over something and something happens. But let's page down a little bit. We have the Spitalians, the chroniclers, the Helvetics. We do have going down here the judges, the clanners, the scrappers. We have the Neo-Libyans, the Scourters, the Anubians. You can play a Jehemedans, the Apocalyptics, the Anabaptists. Artwork, it's amazing. And the Paulers, it's great. Now, mind you, the game does heavily suggest that there are, unlike Dungeons and Dragons, where you can pick nearly any race and any class and any background and mix them together, this game heavily suggests that you certain clans and I mean certain cultures and certain cults are only are beneficial to each other, and if you start to mix and match too much, that you won't have many options. So, for example, like you would think that the clanners would probably be down in Africa, which is true, and it did to give you some examples of other ones. I clicked the Neo-Libyans, but we're going to go to the Anubians, like Anubis and Nubians combined together. It's kind of cool. They did this. So here are the keepers of the prophecy. Where the prophecy comes from, not sure. They give you some information here. There are psychic powers and spores and pheromones and things of that nature. There's something known as the burn, where you can purposefully ingest the spores into you to give you great abilities, but you might be driven insane or mutated. There's some stories in here where they've got writers and such. Um, Followers of the jackal, they give you lots of artwork, and it's just amazing. And mind you, I'm purposefully picking things that kind of, are Africanized, but this is just one seventh, one eighth of everything, less than that, one tenth of some of the art and such that are in this game. It's just amazing. Look at all this. It's crazy. Yeah, and can you continue on to all the other options here? But the icons are there is a meta history and a meta storyline that happens in this game. And so as they've released adventure material, there are some iconic characters, and these are the NPCs that kind of like the movers and shakers in the world. And there is a storyline, very generalized storyline that's moving the world ahead. So as the player characters navigate the world, there are things going on behind the scenes, and they heavily infer that if the player characters are, say, on the western side of the world, on the eastern side of the region, there are things happening that they are ignoring that may change the course of the world. But look at these NPCs. I mean, I'd steal some of these for player character images, but each of these, if I let me hover over one of them. There's Brand, Corporal Gruber, Helena of Temels Josk. I can't pronounce anything. Bianchi. So, like, if I click one of them and go back, you'll get some information, some game stats, summary, last seen, base of operations. You can even find out where they are on a map, where these characters are from, et cetera, et cetera. Pretty cool. Uh, we can hit explore. Even that's really cool. It's, it's so much stuff. So much stuff. Right here, I love this little thing where they've taken like modern day, like sporting masks or gas masks and Africanize them into like tribalistic masks. It's really cool. And this is an in-game thing. It's an in-game thing. And this is some of the artwork and stories that are part of this game. Crazy, crazy, crazy. These are all the stories and such. Sweet. On and on and on. Let's show the world map, and then and I'm going to bring up the chat once again. Vince is like, how can this have this much art? It's insane. Yeah, yeah. You just crazy. How? Yeah, lots of bald heads. It's post-apocalyptic. It's either bald heads or long natty hair, right? Let me move up basically to what a number of our co-hosts are saying here. Mike says, I dig settings like this. Yeah. Zamar mentions, I mean, if it all starts from playing yourself plus, and then evolves into playing yourself, which then evolves into playing yourself with a twist, which then becomes playing someone else. Yeah, yep, absolutely. Eventually, you start to it lend in real life. It can then lend yourself to putting yourself in the shoes of people you don't like. You're like, I don't agree with them. I don't like them. Blah blah blah. And then you put yourself in their shoes, and you go, you know what? I still don't agree with them, but I understand where they're coming from. Right? Deadman says the Barbary pirates in real life were the premier pirates from the 18th century. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's just a twist on it and stuff there. And thank you, Deadman, by the way. Juden's Fuzz says, I have a music playlist made on Spotify for this game. I will post in your Discord. Ooh, ooh. I don't know why I love music. I love like soundtracks and things like that. Yeah, I love that. I actually listen to that during when I'm out there delivering mail and such. Like I used to listen to a lot of jazz. Now I listen to like movie scores and movie scores for the most part, without words. Honestly, bald is better for a fight, less for the enemy to grab onto. Hell yeah. Yeah, Vince says we always play aspects of ourselves. Yeah. And I honestly never really got into playing someone I would not like. Yeah, well, let's think about this world. Most of the people here, this is a post-apocalyptic world, so you're going to get a lot of like things that people do that you might not like. Now, this is an interactive world map. So if you go to the world map and you start to hover, you see as right here in the middle, I'm finger pointing. When you hover over each one, it will highlight that region. Now, with this map, it it is very loosely the Mediterranean. So while you see parts of this, like is this Italy? Kind of, sort of, maybe, or maybe is Italy, but then the water came up here. It's hard to say. But anyway, let me move on this side. Hyperspania, Franca, Borca, Pol, Pollen. I want to say Poland. Pollen, Pugade, Balkan, and then we move down. Let's see. Oops. Let me grab the map and drag it here. And there's Africa. Big chunk of Africa. Africa's pretty and was left pretty much untouched somewhat. And then as I move the map around, grab it, start moving the map around. Let me go up north. Come on down. Come on. You can see that there's a frozen wasteland to the very north, and it's creeped down pretty far, pretty far. Of course, you can get lost. Let's go very as far east, and if you can see to the east, there's not really much out here. This is a part of Africa, right here, but Africa's huge. Let me click it. You'll zero in. They give you a little bit of information over here. Africa's strong. There's the cults. Each cult has a symbol. So if you start remembering some of the symbols, you can kind of identify who and where they are. Let me see. And then, how do I? Hmm. How do I go down? Oh, there we go. Major cities: Tripoli, Kibas, Algiers. Tunis, Cairo, and then there's some African territories down here. You can click on those. As you see, right in here, we have the icons that are probably in the region. You can click on them just like we did before. Seen this picture here with the stories. So there's some novelization going on. And click Explore Africa. Mm, mm, we we kind of go in a loop, right? Because we go right back up here to cultures, cults, etc. So anyway, this this game, the way they designed it, the books, because after this I'm going to go into the books that they have available. I only have the two main books, but oh my goodness. Now, this is a primer on the game itself. It goes into what happened, how did the people survive, some information on like what do you do in the world, what are things that can help you prepare for this game, those kind of things. It's pretty interesting, and mind you, as just because of today and designing parts of the world, I love that they just insert different pieces of artwork and I don't know how they paid for this. It's crazy. Crazy sweet. Let's go back into the chat. Maybe you guys might point something out that I may go to. Vince says, "Oh, is the Mediterranean cut off?" Yeah, 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 yeah. Let me see if I can go back to the map. Did it not switch over? Maybe it did. Okay. Let's close this out. Bidan, Syracuse. Okay. Cartagena. Can I zero in? No. All right, map filter. I want do I want landmarks, settlements, regions, cultures. Hmm. Let's close this out. Let me go back one. See if it will give me a larger map. I think the Mediterranean is closed off. I think it's basically a giant inner sea. Uh, See how I brought up Pathfinder there? Mm-mm-mm. It's still working. What are you? Yeah, yeah, it's working. Let's see. Vince says there seems to be no way to enter the Atlantic Ocean anymore. This is basically as good as it gets design wise. I have to agree with this. Yeah, it's not as gonzo as Morkborg. I know I'm butchering the Merkborg. I know I'm butchering the pronunciation, but you guys get the point. It's not that gonzo, but it is pretty badass. And the art, the design, the what I because as a visual person, man, it's still working. As a visual person, I I feel so immersed in this game. Like when I start opening the books and you get on the website, I'm like, yeah, I can see what I would do, where my character would be, where I would fit in, where I wouldn't fit in. It's crazy. Mike says, come to think of it, with the loss of industrialization, the world temperature would drop slightly. If other conditions were right, a mini ice age in a post-apocalyptic setting could begin. Yeah, yeah, drop population and everything. So frozen north here makes sense. And after the eschaton, it blotted out the sun, so it will lower the temperature even more. So let me see if I can get this. Let's go back home. Wow, it's still. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe it's drawing a lot because it could be rendering quite a bit. Yeah, yeah, it's taking a long time to render up. They Vince says they even have a full character generator on the website. Oh, I forgot to tell you that because the game does introduce artificial scarcity. And what I mean by artificial scarcity is that when you do character creation, there are things you cannot pick if your culture and your clan don't mingle in this game because they're too far divergent. So the full character generator in the website is that when you start clicking options, it will then block off other options so that you can, it basically does it automatically. So if you pick a specific option, it will give you um, equipment choices. It'll give you skill choices that are yours. It'll also block out the choices that you are not available to your character. For example, if you're picking a type of culture or a clan that doesn't have access to more of the higher technologies, then you don't have that as an option, basically. Uh, Mike says a blocked Mediterranean would take us back to a Stone Age geology. It was, I believe, a huge ice shelf collapse in northern Canada that led to a change in sea levels that originally opened the Mediterranean near the end of the Ice Age. So Mars says, I love that. Restrictions like that in games make it feel like you're playing in an actual world. Yes. So let's see if I can. Okay, please stop spinning. Please stop spinning. Let's go to multimedia. There's down. These are things you can download. Maps, wallpapers, awesome shit. Let's hit awesome shit. Let's see if it'll come up. Ah, yay, it stopped. Yay! Woohoo! Okay, so these are characters, cheat sheets, things like that. There's a black and gold, gold on black deluxe character sheets. Woo! I don't know how to read that. Artificer sheets, yeah, yeah. Rebirth character sheets, artifacts characters, excuse me. Chroniclers drafts, stuff like that. They put out most wanted characters that maybe you want to hunt them down or something. Fullberg forever. Sweet. Oh my goodness. The artwork itself that they got for this game is just crazy. Wallpapers. Mm-mm. Mm. Maybe they're too high res. Ooh, 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 ooh. Come on. Come on, computer. Yeah, maybe a little bit too high res. Let me get out of there. We also have do it yourself. It shouldn't be too bad. Here we go. This is the do it yourself section, and there are packs that you can download. Map packs, design packs, that character sheet packs where you can download them and hack them the way you want to. Logo pack, you can download the logos. Crazy fonts. Cannot believe they give this stuff away. I just can't believe the texture. They give away the textures in the book, so you can download those textures to make your pages look better. That's crazy. Uh, did I mention that this game is free? Did I say that? There we go. Okay, so these are static maps and world maps, static maps, maps of cities, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, crazy places. Maps. Just click them, download them. Oh, and just either just Stitian or just Stidian. Maps, maps, maps. Maps, maps, maps. Crazy ass people with your maps, maps, maps. This is some wild, crazy stuff here, guys. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh man, going back into our co-host is like, yeah, Zamara says he talking about the restrictions. Yeah, even though that is the opposite of current trends in D&D. Yeah, this web Mike says this website makes your computer hamster run like bejesus. Yeah, sure it does. Try to just render all these high res images. Yeah, the homebrewer in me makes me want to just explode. Boom. Yeah. This makes you question why WotC is in charge of the biggest RPG in the world and not these guys. Just listen, when 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 you come across something like this, when you come across this kind of quality, these are just maps. These are maps. I'm going to click one. I hope it doesn't put my computer into there we go. Here's a map. Oh, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's move it around. Yeah, we've got, you could tell this is very much a fort. There's outer rings. Look at all this. What in the world? Let's click to another map, or maybe another one, or maybe another one. Oh, wait, is this free to access? Yeah, strip mine. And look, we know that in post-apocalyptic gaming, it can be a little bit difficult to get like modern day maps, but we want them ruined as well. Like, oh, it's built on the foundations of something that wasn't there before. So, a strip mine, a piece on the map that's burnt out. There used to be water here, but now it's just a pit and all that. Yeah, sometimes when you're playing post-apocalyptic settings in a modern day, but it's destroyed, it's difficult to find these kind of maps, and it's like they're for free. All right, so let's go to the books that are available. So, the books that I showed you, I have this very first one, the Rebirth edition, the core books, and there are two books. I believe they're three. I think it's 700 pages of stuff. I think they're each 350 pages. Um, yeah, they're about 350 a piece, so it's about 700 pages of free material. And then these other books. Now, if you take a look at these books, just the covers of them are designed so well. Supplements. Um, mm, 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 mm. Plans. There's other books, other materials, cards, art books. So you can just have if you just want an art book, you can download those. I mean, not down. Yes, you can both download and buy them in physical copies. So let's pick. I'm going to pick Black Atlantic, just randomly, as a book example. So you got the pages. They give you a little example of what the book's about, what it's talking about. Um, Buy the book, download for free, donate, and then you can continue on to the other books. For the download for free section, let me click this. Download free Degenesis books. Please log in. Do I have my login information? Um, I don't remember. Okay, so let's go back. I can't remember. There we go. Uh, let's go back to the homepage. There's something else. Is there anything else I want to show you guys here? Let's go back to the homepage and let me get back into the chat and ask you guys what you would like me to go to. Okay, let's get back to um, Mike says it also makes you wonder why the Genesis crew didn't jump on the OGL move to say, "Hey, everyone, check out this free game." I I don't understand why this game doesn't get enough love at all. It's crazy. Now, the people who love the game swear by it, but it just doesn't get enough love. Samara says, "I'm going to turn this into a hex crawl." Oh, hell's yes. Samara's like, "Darn it, game number 8. Thank you, DBJ. This is the best worst gift you ever gave me." T-shirt. Yeah. Vince says, "I am just going through the character generator. The options are insane." No, my password is not password. Uh, okay, so Vince says region, legacy, cult, attribute, skills, background, potentials. Let's see if I can find the the character generator. Would it be under features? Mm, 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 mm. Go to let's go to game. Free to play, Primal Punk. Here we go. There's the character generator. But anyway, it tells you about the free to how to get this game. It says download the Genesis Rebirth to get familiar with it. Grab a handful of dice and gather your friends around a table. Create your first group of characters by logging in and using our character generator, or download Troika. And then if you feel lost, join any of our community pages for free. So let's see. I don't think it's going to come up unless I log in. It might be behind a login wall. Mm, mm. It's a spinning. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a spinning. Yeah, this setting, this game. And listen, I only showed. Oh, you made an account. There it is. Okay, it came up. Woo! All right, so here we have a place for you to you could get an image, drag or click in an image over here. I'm if you're not doing this to make money, you go to like what like ArtStation or something like that. Grab something in here, name, age, weight, height, money, that kind of stuff. You can come down here, enable expert mode, which lets you spread your points without limits. You can choose a culture, choose a concept, choose a cult. You have your attributes. Let's go down further. Here's the character sheet. So you can start assigning attributes, skills. It starts you out at 0, and then it gives you the number of points that you can spread around. This is a D6 system. So, an example here, let me just circle around here in the middle. Oh, I forgot to do the hovering. But anyway, you circle around here. If you hover over agility, it tells you what it is. And then each skill, you just hover over it and it tells you what it is: navigation, mobility, projectiles, stealth. And oops, it's so I'm hovering over stealth. It gives you a description of what it is, and then underneath that, it's the actions that you can take with it, the reactions, and the combinations, like bod plus brawl or melee for a sneak attack, or psi plus domination is secretly farming fear and superstition. It's pretty cool. And so if you choose a culture down here, you could pick your for character creation. Come on, move down. Mm, Why isn't it not? Oh, it doesn't want to move on me. I'll pick this one. No movement. There we go. Ones. Crazy, crazy, crazy. There's Africa. Continue. You can choose a concept. And there's a bunch of the concepts here. Choose your concept. Ah, it's freezing up. The adventurer, the creator, the martyr. And look how they they even used their kind of six more vodka design element to create these symbols for your concept. Why isn't it moving? Yeah, it's yeah, my computer's freezing up a little bit. There we go. Traditionalist, the seeker, the healer, heretic, the conqueror. Yeah, and a very they did something pretty unique here with a very simple block concept for these things. It's really weird. Um let's pick the let's pick the traveler. But anyway, I don't want to save the profile. Add vehicles, choose your vehicles, boats and ships. This is some crazy stuff, wild crazy stuff. Let me get back into the chat here. Go hamster. Yeah. Vince says, I just made a Balkan creator from the Pollers who is insanely good with engineering and psych. Yeah. Let me go back to the homepage. Strangely enough, I hate to tell you this, guys, but I really got to use the restroom and send the show out. Just pause for just 2 seconds, please. Talks amongst yourselves. Holy shit. I am so sorry. That was that was that was insanely unprofessional of me. Insanely unprofessional. Sorry about that. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, have a great one. Vince is out of here. Thank you so much. Yeah, the mic's got to go to work. Got to go to work. All the best, y'all. Note I will be changing census with my table to gauge interest. Being a free to play game with built-in character generation is a huge thing. Absolutely. Downloading all the campaign books now. My computer is chugging something heavy. You are not at work, DBJ. No, I'm not there yet. Not there yet. So, guys, anyway, thank you very much for being part of the show. I wanted to show off the Genesis in general, and yeah, I showed off a bunch of the Africanized stuff. But man, this game, the cultures in this game, this is bar none. I don't understand how it is they even gave this game away for free. Look at this, my computer's just chugging away at like the just the sheer amount of information that's available and resources available to people to play this game for free. Why isn't this game needs to be up there well with, we talk about Kobold Press, we talk about Pelgrane and Mongoose and Cubicle 7 and these guys, Six More Vodka. I don't understand why this isn't more popular. So, oh yeah, yeah, Vince, like no reason to say you're unprofessional. Yeah, I like to consider myself to be a broadcaster. So, June Fuzz says a great video like always. Always, even with your bio break. Yeah, it was at the end here. I really want to apologize for that. Listen, I'm trying to show off things, and wow, just because I'm broadcasting live, I think it's just maybe it's because of you guys. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe it's just of because of the fact that you guys are trying to get online and download this damn thing. Um, I clicked the feature section here for this is about the community and basically saying to you guys openly like, hey, this is what we have, this is what's available. I will say this though, the reason I see why they gave this game away for free, and that is I think they wanted to tell everybody we are value added in your community. We're going to give all this away for free. We're going to support you for free. This is what you get for free. By the way, if you want to spend some money over here, please support us. And I think that's where they really try to make their mark. Now, like I said before, they are a design house that is also a gaming community. So, as a design house, this is also their way of showing everyone. See if we can get back into the cultures one more time. Um, as a design house, they can say to the world and to people that want to hire them that are not role players, this is what we do. It's crazy, but yeah. Samara says, look at me promoting my competition. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I may try to personally change their brand recognition issue. Yeah. Yeah, they really need some. I don't understand it, but it's great. Yeah. Vin says, I think it's a great concept. Stars Without Number did this too. Yeah, basically, in this is something I don't let me beat a dead horse. This is something Wizards of the Coast did not understand, and Hasbro did not understand that we are a community of value added individuals. What I mean by that is we we promote and protect the ones in our tabletop community that feel like they are more valuable to us than we are to them. So, as an example, when I downloaded all the stuff from Degenesis and from Six More Vodka, I downloaded all that stuff. I had it for free. I've got it on my computer, and I said, you know what? This is a fucking great game. This game is sweet. I'm going to purchase their physical books. I'm gonna get them mailed over here with very expensive delivery and taking a month and a half. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna spend money with them because they deserve to be recognized. And I think the people who swear by this game, yeah, it's not working. It's yeah. Let's see. Yep, the hamster's still a running. So let me just shut this off. Let me just yeah, I think it's just not going to. Let's see if I can redo it here. Ooh, it did work. It did work. Let's see if I can get the hamster wheel running and stopping. There we go. So just before we get out of here, as before, talking about the other places. Let me go to the bottom here. I did go to Africa, but as this newly strangely deformed Mediterranean, there's a lot of other places. And so, of course, just as detailed as the Africa was, we have all of these other places. You go to Borca and the Balkan. They don't put the S on the end of it. They just call it the Balkan legacy of the ancients. And they talk about like how built up it is. There's a lot of information. There are archetypes and icons that are there. Here are the suggested cults that you can play from that region. Of course, all of them hyperlinked for all of your gaming needs. Justician, the vistas tells you about the different cities that are up in the in Borca, in the borderlands around there, and information about all the different places, the wastelands, and a story about that, highways, and crazy, crazy, crazy. And this is just one again. The details. They even have like pictures of buildings and abodes, basically concept art that you can use for your game. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Still of desert of rust, blowing rust particles. Anyway. So thank you very much, guys, for just being part of the show, for allowing me to show this all this information to you. I really appreciate it. Guys, everybody out there, please take a look at this. Take a look at this game. Like again, like if you want to find a new game and you want something that's not related to Dungeons and Dragons, find this game. Again, I'm bringing this game up during Black History Month here in the States, and like I said, they don't pull any punches. They just say, "Hey, there are other people and other cultures in this world, and guess what? They're all trying to survive. They're all kind of assholes." And I love that inclusion. There's nothing in this game that says one those people are better than these other people. No, not at all. Hey, you want to be invited into this world? You sure can. Put on your asshole hat. Lastly, it's taking us out. Zamar says, "Oh, I understand all too well. I did with two of the web comments I read that brought their RPG book and supported their animation. Yes, yes, about supporting content creators who are value added. Someone says, DBJ, work. We need you employees so we can continue to enjoy your sultry voice and witty mind. Thanks. Says Vince. By the way, Alex said he could maybe start at summer with Estrositas. Estrositas. Yeah. Okay. Cool. He still's got work to do until then. Sweet. I'm glad you guys could hook up, man. All I ask is just give me a shout out when your successful gaming company takes off the ground. That's all I ask. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for being part of the show. Please check out this game, Degenesis. It is free to download the PDFs. They have support. They have a character generator. They have a full world. Thanks, Vince. Anyway, guys, have a great day, and I will see thee early Monday with yet even more games to bring about. But I wanted to spotlight some of my best and favorite out there, some of which are online. Uh, uh, hint, hint, hint. There's a game called Plangia that's out there, or Plangia. It's pretty cool. The physical books aren't out yet, but the PDF is available, so we'll take a look at that probably Monday, as well as plenty of others. Guys, have a great one. Have a great weekend. I will see you later. Bye.